Hi, this is a video lesson on Oirr. I'm first of all going to talk about accompaniment techniques and accompaniment lines, and then just a couple of words on the main melody. Okay, so accompaniment lines, we often do a descending bass line to this, but there's lots of different ways to do it. So a word on vibrato. If you're using an open string for your D, you can't do a big soupy vibrato because you then have the note with no vibrato. There needs to be a kind of fairly consistency of the vibrato. So I would use a little just to warm up the notes, but not too much, so that I can still use my open string, because I quite like the open string in there. You can also just brush off the lower G at the beginning, or any point in between at the beginning of a phrase. So one way to get the bow to really get these notes to tie in with each other is to, because we want it really sustained sound, is to bow into the bow changes a little bit. So by that I mean rather than da and then run out of bow. So no bump at the beginning. Don't. So no bump at the beginning. So you actually that's maybe a bit too classical the way to do it. There's lots of different ways of sounding it out, but experiment with bow speed and vibrato to get the sound you want. Okay, second part. So there is the line up here, which is lovely. Or you can do a either of them is fine. You're working mostly on a C major chord at the beginning of each phrase. So you have the chord here, C, G, E, first finger, C, second finger. So you can put in that chord there. I would probably just put the accompanying notes just before the beat and have the C on the beat. Is there anything else for the accompaniments? Oh yeah, there is a nice line where where the melody goes da, 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 da. It's the second time round, I think, of the tune, and I like to do a ba da dee da dee da dee da dee da dee da. I like to kind of follow that on. So let me see, can I remember? The melody goes ba da 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 dee da. You can go back up to the high C as well. It's just a little kind of linking in bit that's quite nice. Da da dee da dee da, in between the violin or whoever's playing the tune phrases. Okay, let's have a little look at the beginning of if you're playing the melody. So I like using the G and the D strings here because we have this lovely G chord, so it's just G and D and B. You can also use some cuts, which is just dropping your second or your fourth finger onto the string. Don't use your third, because that would be C sharp, and that's not in the key. So G and D, G and C. I kind of like G and D the best, I think, certainly for the beginning. And I would use it there on the first beat of the second bar. The rhythm, this Scotch snap, da-young, da-young, it can be quite choppy. you can change the bow, you can do it quite sharp, or you can smooth it out and do it as even quavers. And I tend to do a mixture of both so that it doesn't become a bit kind of too samey. So I'm going to just play some version of the tune, or at least the first part of the tune, just to try and put all those options in there. I'll go back and do that again. I'm thinking too much about my ornaments now and kind of messing up the tune. Because I forgot to mention the double stops as well. Now you don't need to do them as much as that. You can do even less, half of them. It's just to know that when you have the D, you have the chord underneath supporting the harmony with your open string. Trying to think if there's anything else that we talked about. The double stops, the cuts. I think that's all. Okay, see how you got on with that.